When you were going through the draft process, has it exceeded your expectations at all? What you thought you were getting into and what you now are living as reality?
Yeah, of course, every rookie has to go through their own process and they have to go through their own story, their own journey as to how to get on the field. And so getting on the field this early has allowed me to become a better player as far from an experience standpoint. And I'm just trying to learn how to be a pro, like a pro's pro, not just being a pro in the NFL. You're trying to be the best in the NFL. So seeing how, certain guys approach the way they work and how they approach it. So, because you got everybody that comes in there, but not everybody approaches it the same way. And so that's what separates the good from the great.
I mean, you're coming here after a workout, so is there much of an off season when you're talking about playing football, basically a seasonal sport?
All season is all season, but it's not really all season. Like during that whole time, you still got to make sure that your body's up to par, making sure that you got great diet, make sure that, so basically everything that you're doing in season, you still have to do out of season just to make sure that you didn't fall off or you don't lose anything going into the next season.
You know, the journey that you were on this year, I mean, you guys are rolling, then you got a little nicked up, I guess, towards the end of the year. Can you take us through what you were dealing with physically?
Physically, I had an impact fracture in my knee, so I really just took it slow, took the slow road approach. I'm pretty glad I took that approach to it just so I could put myself in a better position.
You get to the Super Bowl. What is that like? I mean, that's a place where a lot of people don't go, much less in year two in a guy's career. What was the week leading up to that like? What was game day like? What was halftime like? I mean, what goes on to putting on that kind of a show when there's so much at stake for the football team, not necessarily everything that's going on around it?
Right, it's a lot of distractions as far as, because you got certain celebrities that are going to be there, you got parties, you got this and that. But where we were isolated from a lot of that stuff, but you still have to deal, the media aspect of it, making sure that your schedule is right. You got to adjust and fit your schedule on a whole different schedule because of those things that you got to take care of. But leading up to it, you can feel it, like all the energy and the support from the fans. We got the greatest, I say one of the best fan bases in the league for sure. I knew they had a good fan base, but their fan base is pretty different, like, for real.
Yeah. Frank Gore was here boxing, and he's like, he couldn't believe the 49er fans were traveling to see him.
Bro,
He's as a retired player come box.
When they say 49er faithful, you do have some faithful fans out there. For the real 49er fans, you got a lot of them out there for sure. The Super Bowl is everything that everybody says it is and more.
With that, what is going to be your lasting memory from that moment?
Good and bad. I'm taking good and bad from it, of course. One thing that I say that stood out to me, just impacting the game early on, striking the first touchdown, being the block that created it, opening it up. I just wanted to make an impact. People back home, I got so much love and support from my city, from family all over San Antonio, from east, west, north, south, just Texas as a whole. All the love and support that I get from my family, even outside. If somebody would have told me that I was doing this 5 years old, like, yeah, it still sounds like a dream, but actually living and playing in it is a whole different type of feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Not often is an offensive lineman going to get any love in a game of that magnitude. Right. But I mean, after the game, all of a sudden, did you see your phone was just look like a Christmas tree?
Yeah, I try not to look at my phone as much after the game. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the loss, right. I was just down and out because of that. But when I look back on it, the positive things that I took from the game, the block definitely, like, it actually cheered me up a little bit. I actually did do something that made a difference for the better in the game. We had been practicing it throughout the week. We had practiced it for a pretty long time, but he had pulled it out and called it out. We was like, okay, let's roll with it. You know what I'm saying? Kyler threw it in there, so I was like, bet. And then nobody's covering us, so I just see him coming down. So I just tried to take off and just get something on him. I just dove, hoping that I hit a leg, a hip or something, a rib. And so I just got just enough. And then when he sprung up and looked, I was like, I was lit. Whenever I seen him, I said, oh, you untouched? I said, oh, yeah, we lit. But yeah, it was a blessing. It was a surreal moment. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of surreal, I mean, what's going through your mind? Did you feel your brain go to a place that it's never gone before when you in terms of excitement?
Your sense of awareness is definitely, it definitely rises in those situations, being the down that it was, just trying to get in, the intensity of it, just trying to put points on the board, really. Just trying to get something started so we can go ahead and get the ball rolling within the game, because at that point, it was like a stalemate between both teams. You got two high-powered teams in the league, the best in the league, so we just trying to get something to get the ball rolling, get momentum on our side, so.
Yeah, I mean, and then to have it turn out the way that it did. What's your takeaway in terms of being in a Super Bowl, playing in a Super Bowl, but to get to that point and then to lose in overtime? I mean, What were your overall thoughts?
I'd say the good thing is I got to look at it from a standpoint of I'm a young player in the league. And so a lot of these guys that's been in the league for 13, 14, 15 plus years haven't even, this might be their only chance, this may be their first time experiencing something like this. And there's guys that's coached for 30 plus, 20 plus years that have never been to a Super Bowl. Like, you're not just playing for yourself. Yeah, you're playing for a personal accomplishment. Yeah, you're playing to say that you're the best in the world. Yeah, you're playing for this. Nobody can ever take that from you. To be in a Super Bowl champion, they can say anything you want. At the end of the day, you're the best in the world at what you do. And so being a champion and being the best at it, and I say that's what hurt me the most. That's what hurt me the most, because I see everything that everybody put into it. I see the coaches, what they have to go through to hold the Lombardi up at the end of the season. That's what it's all about. That's what we play for. That's what we wake up for. That's what we eat, we sleep, we breathe for. So, yeah, as you can tell, I'm still kind of like I'm still touched on the situation, but like that's what it's about, bro.
You wanted to go back to UTSA
Right.
to try to win a conference championship, which
Right.
you did.
Right.
So do you get the sense now that as much as winning a conference championship was and meant to you at the time, does this mean even more now to you to try to get back to win a Super Bowl?
Most definitely. All right. Being there and being in the situation and being in the environment, when you lose, I didn't sleep and I couldn't eat for 2 days. It hurt just that much. But one thing I can say, it's like a new fire was lit up in me. Just being there in the situation, like, I'm here. This is as big as it gets in the game. So there's nothing bigger than this moment right here. And just to get back there, and that's all I'm talking about, like winning the Lombardi, bro. So like it lit a whole different fire, a whole different type of drive, a discipline in me that I had before. I wouldn't say I lost it. It probably had got dulled for a little bit. But it's like a whole new type of fire right now. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you come up in the league and you've obviously made an impact already in your career, but
Right.
when did you get the sense that Brock Purdy was the guy at quarterback?
So Brock was, I'm not gonna lie, Brock Purdy was, he's been that dude since he stepped in. Me and Brock had our conversations off the field, like just talking, just chopping it up, seeing how he was doing as a player. We were rookies, we come in at the same time. And we were talking in Denver, Colorado. You can call him on the phone, you can call and ask anybody that you want to. You can call Brock right now. We were sitting in Denver, Colorado, and he was just like, we were just talking and chopping it up. He was looking kind of down. I'm like, bro, like, what's up? Like, what's going on? He was like, I'm working. I'm trying to get this and that. I'm like, bro, you gonna be straight. Like, and it was like a sense. Like, he has like an aura about him. Like, Brock wants to win. Brock will do anything in his power, and he'll do it for his teammates. Brock is a real dude, God-fearing man. He's a good person. And so we were just sitting there chopping it up. I'm like, bro, something special is about to happen, bro. Like, you do everything right. You do everything that you can. I see you take the extra steps to put yourself in a situation like, bro, you have no other choice but to be great. And lo and behold, he got his opportunity in the Dolphins, and the rest is history. We came in at the locker room at the end of the Dolphins game, and I was just sitting there, and we looked, and we just started busting out laughing. I'm laughing the whole time, like, bro, this is crazy. I was like, bro, do you know what you just did? And he was like, bro, it's crazy. I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, we lit.
God tap you on the shoulder and say, this guy needs this right now? Because
I don't know what, I don't know what plans he got in store for me then. I don't know what he got for me now, bro. I'm going to just rock with him to the end.
Is it cool to see your family all wearing 49ers gear and they got your back and
Yeah,
probably in the thick of cowboy country?
No, they're Cowboy fans. Let's not get nothing twisted, bro. My family, they support me with the 49ers, but they do. I got great support from my family, but like even still, they're gonna root for the Cowboys just because they're diehard Cowboy fan. Like they true blue. Like my uncle came to my game in my jersey. He still had a Cowboys hat on. So imagine a guy coming to a football game. He has your number, your jersey on, signed and everything, and then he has a Cowboy hat on.
I would think that hey, blood's thicker than water, man.
Yeah,
I mean.
most definitely. It's most definitely thicker, but sometimes water trickle in.